Hi everybody, this is Harmony with Harmony Stitches and welcome to my channel. Here we talk about my crafting journey, which usually revolves around cross stitch and knitting and crochet thrown in here and there. As I've said before, it's a funny story that crochet used to be my go-to craft and now I hardly even crochet and I cross stitch more than anything and I knit more than I crochet. It's just weird how things come around like that. So this week I don't have a lot of different things to show you, but I think I have a lot to say about those different things. So we'll go ahead and get started talking about my projects for this week. I brought Acorns by Prairie Schooler because I couldn't remember if I finished all of these. I have it in a sleeve the opposite way, so just give me a second. I don't remember if I finished all of these before I filmed my last video, so I'm just going to quickly show you Acorns by Prairie Schoolers. There are 6 different designs. I had 5 of them done last time. The leaves. Oh, I have a string. Ew. It's stuck to me. Okay. The leaves, which I think are really pretty. I really like those leaves. And then I did the squirrel. And then the pumpkin and crow. And that's got a little bit of back stitching, and I did get that done. And then I did the cornucopia with the fruits. And the house, which, yes, has the back stitching done. I did that one. And last but not least, the one with the people, all of the leaves and acorns. I believe that I got that done. Yeah. All done. So all 6 of them are done, so I do apologize if I had shown all 6 of them to you last time. I just couldn't remember if I showed that last one to you fully complete. So there's that. Anywho, after I got that done, I decided I wanted to jump back to Jurassic Park and work on Jurassic Park for a little while. And I got up to 50.1% at the retreat. And now I can't remember my percentage, but look at this. So I decided that I was going to continue the words and the background across. And then when I got to a certain point, I got sick of the lettering. So then I went up and started to work on this more. And I am making some great progress. I think I worked on this for about a week. About a week, I think. And then I got sick of it. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just got sick of the counting and the colors just because there's only a few colors to work with. So I decided to set this aside. I went off script because I was supposed to stitch the Weimaraner, get the back stitching done on that. And oops, I forgot to put the floss away. I did not work on the Weimaraner. I did not work on any of my short list items. What happened was I did work a little bit on my pumpkin patch charts from Stitching with the Housewives, which it was so minimal that I didn't even bring out here to show you because I'm not done yet. Because I was still contemplating what color I was going to make the stems. So I didn't want to take that to work because there wasn't really anything for me to work on except for the stems and I hadn't picked out the color yet. So I said, well, what else can I grab really quickly before I walk out the door? This was sitting... For some reason, this project, which if I have enough technology space or digital space on my phone and technology will cooperate, I will put a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's done. For some reason, this project was sitting where my short list projects were sitting. I don't know why that is, but that's the case. So I picked this up and I said, oh, I haven't worked on that in a while. So I will work on that. So I grabbed it in the morning and took it to work with me and did a little bit. I've been leaving early for work because the traffic is kind of crazy at the school that I work at in the morning, so I'm trying to avoid the craziness. So I get about 15 minutes stitching time in before I have to punch in and get started. And then I worked on my lunch for about 15 minutes. So a half an hour total. And then when I got home, I put it in the program. Markup RX is what I'm using. And so when I put it in there, it said I was at like just over 12%. It was at 4,114 stitches complete. And then I worked on it for over a week. And I am now sick of this one and I need to switch to something else. But let me show you how far I got. I believe I am at 22.5% or 23% on this. So when I started, I had the water done from like the castle down and around this way. So I finished all of the water and the green inside, and then these colors here at the top, the browns. I finished all of that. I put these 3 things in here. I put 2 more of the cactus here. That one has a couple, or this one has a couple stitches left to go. And then all of the stitches inside the moat, besides what I have on the castle, is brand new. This is brand new. And I did put 1 strand of each color down on the bottom. The sand is not hard, but it does get boring after a little while. And I'm putting in, as you can see here, I'm putting in the light color first and then filling in with the darker color. My stitches aren't ending up to be the best for some reason, but once it's framed, I think it'll be fine. And I was having a lot of fun with this one. And then I just got to a point where I'm like, okay, I gotta quit. I am trying to, if I counted correctly, there was 46 of these little cactus things in the entire project. So I said, okay, every time that I do something else, like this spade, then I have to do at least 2 or 3 of the cacti, so that way I don't have them all to do at the end, which I can't possibly, because, you know, since I'm working up and over, I have to do them as I go anyway, but you know what I mean? Just so that way I didn't have a ton of them, and that was all I was working on, because there's so much, all of the background is sand, that I didn't want to have the sand and all of the cacti to do all at the same time, because I thought that would be really boring. So I did get 4 more of them put in. And then I figured that there was, there's 4 more of these squares, 5 more actually, they say 1 through 5. And then there's one that says start. So there's actually 6 squares. There's a couple rocks, there's 2 mushrooms, and something else, a door. So between all of those things, if I do one of those things and a couple of the cacti, one of those things, a couple of the cacti, and then of course the sand mixed in, then it won't, I'm hoping that it won't be so bad. But I made such great progress. I went from about 12%, just over 12%, like 12.3, 12.2, to about 22.5. So I basically doubled the stitches that I had into this project. Sorry, I forgot. I realized I haven't been telling you what I've been stitching on or anything. Acorns is on 28 count Monaco that I tea-dyed just to get it a little bit darker. Jurassic Park is on 28 count white Monaco that I got from 123 Stitch. And this is an off-white, antique white. I don't know what this is. Aida, 18 count Aida. It was in that box of mystery stuff that I had won a lottery draw for in one of the groups. So this is going to go back into the whip bin because it got a turn out of turn. Okay, so then Friday when I had to do something after work and I got home, ate dinner, and then got right started at 7 o'clock because at 7 o'clock Eastern time, well, or your time, if depending on where you live. But Friday at 7 p.m., a weekend sock challenge by lolodidit started, and it goes all weekend long. I think it goes Sunday till 7 p.m. or something. I'm not really sure. So I wanted to participate. If you know me, I am highly motivated by prizes, and there are prizes involved. So I wanted to participate. Plus, it's been a while since I knit any socks, and I have plenty of sock yarn in my stash. Okay, so I chose this leftover yarn. This is the purple that I used for this Boneyard Sweethearts hats for the kids at church. And what I did is I took another pair of socks that I used lolodidit yarn and weighed them with my scale, and it said 54 grams. So then I weighed the ball of yarn that I had left, and I had 69 grams. And I'm like, okay, I have enough. But then I had, this is what I have left of, she had given me at one time a yarn tasting, which is a 10-gram mini. And so I said, well, with the 69 grams that I have in the purple and the 10 grams, I have 79 grams. I have plenty enough to make a pair of socks for myself. I don't make socks for anyone else because it's hard to gauge how they will fit their feet. My family doesn't want them because their feet run hotter than my feet are always cold. Their feet are always hot. So they don't want socks. So I started Friday night. I got about half of the cuff done before I had to call it quits and go to bed. I went to bed early every night this weekend. But then yesterday I got this much of sock 1. So I did the contrast heel, flap, and turn. I don't know how well I'm being able to show you that. And I followed her instructions, though, what she had in the pattern. According to her pattern, I should have cast on more stitches, but she was using a different needle size than I was. So I just used my regular needle size with my regular stitch count, which was her size small. And of course I have small feet, so I'm sure it'll be fine. So I believe that this purple color is called Complete Secret. It's from the Quotable Dumbledore Club. If you've been around with me for a while, you know that I was in the year-long club and got 12 skeins, and I use them often. I am working through them, and I'm going to be sad one day because they're going to be gone. And then this is Hippo for Mom, and which is the 10-gram mini that she sent me. So I got this to the toe, and the reason why I got it to the toe, and I'm using 9-inch circulars, but I put this on DPNs for the toe, is because I want to see if I have enough of the contrast color to do toes as well. So then this last night, once I got that to the toe, I promptly cast on sock number 2, and so far this is where I am at. Oops, I'm snagging. So as you can see, I'm on the 9-inch circular, and I actually just finished the decreases and the gusset. So I'm ready to do, let's see, I have 39 rounds to go before I'm done with I have my ends hanging out everywhere, getting in the way. Usually, I don't know if you do this, but just a tip, once you get your leg done or enough length on your leg, you can just, usually if you stick it in there, it will stay because of just, it'll grip itself. So I have a contrast heel and heel turn on both of them. I have to go back downstairs and weigh this and then see how much I have per sock. I don't know if it will be enough, but what I'm thinking is, even if it's not enough, I'll split this in 2 and I'll put in a stripe at the beginning of each toe and maybe just go until I run out and then add the purple back on. So that's what I'm thinking, because there's no sense in keeping 1 gram of this around. So I'm thinking I just want to use it all up. There, obviously, as you can see, I'm going to have plenty of this purple left because I have just 39 more rounds and then I'm done with the purple, basically, unless I need to use it for the toe. So that's that. So you can make 5 different posts to get up to 5 entries because they don't want people like putting in 20 pictures or something, because that's silly, because it's only just over a 2-day thing. So I think I have 3 entries so far, and then I'm just going to post maybe 1 more when I finish, so I'll have 4 entries. So I will show you the finished socks even if I don't get them done tonight, it's fine. You don't have to get them finished. It's just a challenge to see how much you can get done in a weekend. So obviously, because my feet and my feet are small, my legs are short, I make a shorter leg, and I don't have very much foot to make. So obviously I can make great headway on a pair of socks in a weekend, and I knew that, and I thought it just would be fun to participate. And I feel like I'm rambling on about this particular thing, but you know, it's fun. I think that's all that I have to share with you this time. My plans are to finish my socks as soon as possible, and then I am going to work on my short list, which is the Weimaraner, Starry Night by the Prairie Schooler. I have 1.5 ornaments left. I do feel that I am getting kind of bored with the short list because I pretty much got down to the bottom of it. The Weimaraner and the Starry Night ornaments are really they're the last two things on my short list to do. And I think that's probably why I picked up the Mario map. So I think in May, I'm going to change it up just a tad. So a lot of people for a long time have been doing Mania, Stitch Mania. The name has kind of evolved over time, and the creators of Stitch Mania, or you know, have moved on and closed the group. However, people are still doing it. Some people call it mayhem or madness, and they don't necessarily use the word mania anymore. However, that was their point, was to start new things or stitch on things that you know, like whips that you haven't stitched on lately. So I know that I'm doing Whip Go for new starts. So I will still do that and have my goal of 500 stitches in each one. But then I thought, after I get that done, the 500 stitches in each of those two projects, maybe I would pick up my whip wheel again, which if you're new here, the last 2 years I've actually used a Tiny Decisions type app on my phone, and it told me what whip I was going to work on for each week. So I was thinking that I would use the whip wheel to tell me what projects to work on, and I would put in 500 stitches and then move on to the next. So at least it was getting something, because some of these projects haven't been touched since last year or the year before. And I like all of them, otherwise I wouldn't be stitching them. So, except for Narnia, that one. But if that one got spun on the wheel, 500 stitches would get me a ton of progress on that, see? So, and we'd be a little bit closer to having that one done and off the list. So I think that's what I want to do for May. The new Whip Go pieces will be drawn on April 25th, which is Tuesday. So I can get those together and ready. The Monopoly piece, I still don't have the fabric for. I have to check in with my shop and see what's the deal with that, but that's fine. So if that one gets called, I'll just swap it for a different one for now. I'll put 500 stitches in each of those. And then when I'm done, I will immediately spin the wheel, do 500 stitches, and immediately keep swapping to see how many projects I can get through in a month. Now, I will say that most days I can get over 500 stitches. So I bet you I can get through a lot of projects in May, and I just think it will be so fun. If you want to join me and participate and do something similar or do something different, comment below, because I would love to participate with you and maybe follow you on Instagram and like your posts and cheer you on. But this is just something that I thought of yesterday as I was knitting my sock, that I think that would be super fun, because some of these projects haven't seen the light of day in a while. So since I've been working on my short list for sure, which is January 1st of this year. So that's something to look forward to. So you'll see the start of that progress in my next video coming up in 2 weeks. That's all I have to talk to you about this time. I'll have updates on the retreat as they come along, but nothing yet. I think I might open registration with myself maybe December 1st. Still playing around with that date. So if you have questions, like if you're sitting there saying, what are you talking about? Go back to my previous video where I said that there was an announcement, and I talk about the cross stitch retreat. I truly appreciate everyone coming and hanging out with me a little bit, whether you've been here the whole time or, you know, a good while, or if this is your first video. I appreciate you giving me a chance. And I know that some weeks I only have a little bit of things to show you, but some weeks, like maybe the next one, I will have a bunch. So we'll see, you know, what happens. But I just truly appreciate all of you that have subscribed, watch, comment, like. I really do appreciate it. I'm not getting paid to do these videos in any way, shape, or form. And so the only reason that I keep coming back to do them is because of you all. So I just want to thank you for showing me the love and for coming back every week. Okay? Until next Sunday, I hope that you have been inspired to pick up a languishing whip or maybe to try something new. And I'll see you soon. Bye.